Hello again, math students. Today, let's warm up our brains a little bit. I want you to try to get different numbers using 4 fours. So I've got an example done for you already. To be able to get 0 using 4 fours, we could have 4 over 4, which is equal to 1, minus another 4 over 4. So this would really just give us 1 minus 1, which does give us 0. So I'd like you to try to find a way to get 8 using 4 fours. Any operations you want, add, subtract, multiply, divide. You can even use exponents. If you'd like to, you could take a moment and pause the video, see if you can find a way to get 8. I have an answer, so if you want to pause it and see if you can get it, here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to try 4 minus 4, which takes me right back down to 0. Now remember, I've got 2 more 4s, and I have to get back up to 8. So I'm going to say plus 4 plus 4. That gets me 8. That works, right? All right, so that one's not too bad. 20, though, that one's a little tricky. So again, if you want to pause it, see if you can figure out a way to get 20 using 4 fours. I have a way. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to actually use parentheses in mine. I have a way that I'm going to use 3 fours inside my parentheses. I want to make this stuff in here equal to 5. And I'm going to multiply it times a 4 out here. Because 5 times 4 would be equal to 20. So if I have to make this stuff inside here equal to 5, I want to have a way of having 1 plus 4. Now, I know that up here, I had a way to get 1. I used 4 over 4 as a way of making 1. And I still have 1 more 4 to use. So if I have 1 plus 4, that's equal to 5 in parentheses. 5 times 4, that does give me 20. So hopefully your brains are all warmed up now. So today we are still using order of operations. However, we're doing something a little different. We're going to use this word evaluate. And we've used the word evaluate a little bit in the past already. Evaluate just really means to figure some things out. We're going to do some math. We're going to figure things out. And we're going to be using algebraic expressions. We've already used that phrase also. We're using some algebra. That just means we're going to have some variables. And we are going to substitute, which means we're going to have variables and we're going to put numbers in place of those variables. So if I give you something like x plus 2 and I ask you to evaluate, with only this much information, there's nothing for you to do. You cannot evaluate. You don't know what the x is. So if I say evaluate, you'd be like, Mrs. Kempe, I can't do that. However, if I can get rid of that box, I could say, oh, by the way, I'm going to tell you what the x is equal to. This x is really a 4. I want you to put that 4 in place of the x. The x is going to go away. Instead of that x, I want you to put a 4 right there. That means I'm going to say 4 plus 2. Well, I know that you can do that. That's really just going to be 6. That is substitution, and we evaluated that algebraic expression. Now, that's all kinds of math vocabulary right there, but you know how to do every one of those steps. We put a 4 in place of the x, that's our substitution, and then we evaluated. So let's take a look at this one. Let's say x is still going to be 4, and we're still going to evaluate. So I want to put that 4 instead of that x. But I need you to think about what it means if this 5 is smushed right up next to that x. That's a multiply this time. This is saying, now I have to be really careful here. I'm going to kind of make a mistake. Some people look at this and they say 5, oh, instead of that x, I'm going to put a 4 there. Hey, it's 54. But it's not, right? The 5 and the x, because they're right next to each other, we know that's multiplying. So either I need to put a dot in between there, or I need to put that in parentheses or something. I need to know that that's a multiply, right? That's going to be 20. That is not 54. That's got to be 20. Look at all this mess. I've got 3 different variables in this one. So I need to put, this time x is not 4, x is 8. Remember, these are variables. Variable means it can change. X is going to be 8, y is going to be 2, and z is going to be 6. So I have to put all 3 of those different variables. I have to substitute in for all 3 of those different variables, and then I need to evaluate. I need to figure this all out. So I'm going to put 2, instead of parentheses, I'm going to use a dot this time just to show you that we can use either one of them. 2 times 8 plus, instead of the y, I'm going to put in a 2 minus, instead of the z, I'm going to put in a 6. Now, thinking about order of operations, I know I have to do my multiplying first. So 2 times 8 is going to be 16 plus 2 minus 6. 16, and now we have all addition and subtraction, so I know I have to go left to right. 16 minus 2 is going to, or 16 plus 2, I'm sorry, is going to be 18. 18 minus 6, remember this looks like a funnel, this is going to be 12. There is no substitution here. However, this is not a real nice problem the way it is. I could totally see some people assuming that, oh, maybe they really meant to have parentheses here. Because if that was a 9, like 3 and 9, oh, that still doesn't work out all that nicely, does it? Yeah, this is really not what's happening here. You have to actually do the math that's there. We need to do the math that's here. 3 divided by 5. We can do that. That could be a fraction or it could be a decimal. I'm going to use this one as a decimal kind of a division. We're going to do 3 divided by 5. 3 divided by 5. All right. 5 doesn't go into 3, but it does go into 30. It goes in there 6 times with nothing left over. That's just 0.6 or 0.6 if you want to put a 0 in front of that. So that's going to be 0.6, right? I would have to do my dividing before I do my adding. What is 0.6 plus 4? Well, that's just 4.6. That's not that bad. We can handle that. Okay, back to a substitution problem. So x is going to be 1, y is going to be 5. Feel free to draw those arrows if you want to. If that helps you, go right ahead and do that. I'm going to try not drawing arrows on this one. So I'm going to have 1 plus x is 1, parenthesis, divided by 2 plus the y is 5 plus 1. Now I have to do my parentheses. 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. I don't really need the parentheses there anymore, though. And I just rewrite everything. Now, order of operations, I would have to divide before I would do any adding and subtracting. There's only adding, I guess. 2 divided by 2 would be 1. And now it's all adding. I have to go left to right. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 1 would be 7 for that final answer. So today we were working on evaluating, which means figuring it out after we did some substitution, right? And we were working with algebraic. Algebra means We had some variables in there, expressions with substitution. So today you're going to have a worksheet evaluating expressions, day 1. If you need any help, make sure you talk to your teacher.